It was a long wait for 6 days, but that is not his gripe at all. He is not complaining about the 6 days. As far as he was concerned, he had this legitimate expectation there was going to be a free, fair, credible, accurate, transparent, and verifiable election pursuant to Article 86 of the Constitution. But my poor client, lo and behold, to his shock and horror, at about 4 p.m. on the 15th, a public statement was made by Juliana Cherera, Irene Masset, Justice Nyangaya, and Francis Wanderi, and I will call them as the 4 commissioners because I won't continue to repeat their names. And in that statement, before the declaration of who he wanted to know was his president, before that declaration, they came out and stated that this election was opaque. Subsequently, at about 6:05, the chairperson of the IEBC declared a result to say who the president-elect of the country was, and this was duly gazetted. To confound it all, on the 16th of August, people started calling, and the 4 commissioners started calling this the Chebukati's results. On the 17th of August, 2022, a statement was issued by the chairperson of the IEBC, and I'm not going to get personal here, I will call him by his title that he's got at the moment, stating the reasons why the 4 commissioners, and the drama continues. My ladies and my lord, this is a voter who is watching all this unfold in public. His simple question is, did my vote matter? Or was it Chebukati's result? Or was it an opaque result? What happened? And that's why that's who I am representing. And I'm very curious for myself. Where did my vote go? Did it go anywhere? Or was it not there? My lords and my ladies and my lords, in order to meet the constitutional threshold of being a credible, transparent, verifiable, accurate process, the electoral process must be conducted in strict compliance of the law. We have filed on behalf of the petitioner very extensive submissions. These were filed on the 26th of August 2022. I am caught in a position where I could sit here and reread everything that's been said or everything that has been reiterated by my learned seniors who are, for once in my life, I can say who are much older than me, because normally I'm one of the oldest people in a room, who are much older than me. So I don't wish to repeat everything that they have said, because that we don't have the luxury of time. I will just keep it very, very short, because I am sure your ladyships and your lordships will read the 23-page submissions that we have done. 1. Under Article 138.3 C of the Constitution, it specifically states that after counting the votes at a polling station, IEBC shall, it is not say, may, shall tally and verify the count. That's what our framers said. Article 138.310 now starts distinguishing. It says the chairperson of the IEBC. As yesterday was said by Madam Chief Justice, the framers of the Constitution decided to give you 14 days. It's not easy to complete this election petition. It's got to be done within 14 days. The framers of the Constitution knew exactly what they were doing because of where we had come from, culminating in 2007. Hence, the declaration was to be done by the chairperson but the verification and tallying, if they wanted to do it by the chairperson, they would have said it. Secondly, if, as is being stated by the chairperson of the IEBC, as he's put in his statement that was issued on the 17th of August, it is me. It is me who has to verify and tally pursuant to regulation. There's a regulation 87.3, which my learned friend Mr. Feroz now took your lordships and your ladyships to. I can do it. If he could do it, why wasn't it said? And if he says he can do it, why do you need a commission of 7 people? Why do we spend so much money, taxpayers' money, on a commission of 7 people? Have 3. This court has ruled that 3 people constitute a commission. Have 3. Why do you need 7? Let's take it further. If it's only him, and according to some of the submissions and arguments that are going to be placed before you, the issue of Schedule 5 regarding quorum, and that he doesn't need quorum, it's only in the normal business. My ladies and my lords, sorry, what exactly does the IEBC do? Voter registration, but what is its main function related to? Elections. It is all about elections. That's what they do. I don't believe there's been much boundary delineation, but I will stand to be corrected on that by my learned friends on this side. They may know a little more than that. And so, if it is only the chairperson whose argument is there is 34A, so there is an announcing declaration there, then there is the polling center, and then it comes to him at the tallying center, and he does it. I still go back to 30 billion shillings on an election, and this is what we've got. It's a very sad state of affairs we are in. One man, let's have a commission of 3, going by what he says. Taking it now to the regulations that he relied upon on the 17th, with your lordship's permission, I would state those regulations, unfortunately, when your ladyships and your lordships decided, as my young associates say it in my office, I don't know how they do it, but they say it, Raila and another versus the IEBC of 2017, they claim that according to terminology they use, it's called Raila 2, and then the subsidiary one, the second one that came, when it came for clarification, they call it Raila 2.5. So I don't know why they do that, but that's what the young lawyers do. So I'm going to use that terminology. When Maina Kiai was decided, and this particular Maina Kiai was decided, I believe it was in, I'd written the date down, but Maina Kiai was decided in June 2017. Subsequently, the chairperson of the IEBC came to your lordships and your ladyships asking for a clarification as to exactly how Maina Kiai was interfering with your decisions in Raila 2. It was so clear on what this court said. And the saddest part is, regulation 87 that he is relying upon was not brought to your attention, and from 2017 to 2022, all IEBC does is hold elections but doesn't look at its regulations. And are these regulations, are these going to be the mundane matters that the commission has to decide? Because we've been told, besides verifying and telling, the commission does everything, and those are in their submissions. My lords and my ladies, if you look at my written submissions, and I'm going to take you through them very quickly as to, if you look at, and the page numbers are verified, the case numbers, we've put in a bundle of documents. What that statement of the 17th of August said, if you could look at page 8 of my written submissions, at paragraph 19 from about line 18. And this is a quote from the Maina Kiai case. It is, in our view, fallacious and flies in the face of clear principles and values of the Constitution to claim that the chairperson of the appellant can alone, at the tallying center or wherever, purport to confirm, vary, or verify the results alone. This honorable court further said the same thing in the Raila 2.5, which is set out at page 11 of the submissions at the bottom. And you go to page 12, this is at paragraph 20, and it will be paragraph 292 of the Raila 2.5. The failure by the first respondent, IEBC, to verify the results in consultation with the second respondent, IEBC chairperson, before the latter declared them, therefore went against the expectations of Article 138.3c. And there are several quotations I have put in there that show that this court has already made the decision. My biggest fault with the IEBC, and it's not particular the chairperson in himself, for 5 years you did nothing. The Supreme Court told you in October 2017, you can't do this. You do nothing. You amend in April 2017, you leave it at that. There's been hardly any amendments. It doesn't matter who's the Kenyan voter. IEBC, chairperson, we own this. It's an independent commission, but they have to work within the ambit of the Constitution. My ladies and my lord, I'm just going back now. Like I said, I have 15 minutes, and I think I'm going to be at a space where I'm going to be a very patriotic Kenyan, and I'm going to donate the time back to the court, because I don't think I'm going to take the full time to finish my submission, because it's fully set out where we are going to. There are three things that we've brought up. One is the issue of the regulation 87, which has to be made unconstitutional. And we have relied upon the judgment of this court in the case of Rai, where you declared section 14, where Parliament went way beyond the ambit of what this court was supposed to do. We are relying upon that to declare that, because it appears IBC is never going to come to you, so we might as well do it once every 5 years to see where they've got it wrong. We're requesting you to declare it unconstitutional. We are going further and stating to your lordships, to your ladyships and your lordships, the issue of the elections, of the cancelled elections. Whilst the elections were cancelled in counties or gubernatorial, and an issue has been taken up that if this court has jurisdiction, because interpretation of the Constitution is in the High Court. My ladies and my lords, Article 101 actually gives a date cast in stone when our elections are going to take place. General Assembly, Parliament, Presidential, the whole lot. So it is on the second Tuesday of every 5th year. Article 101 read with Article 136(2)(a), read with Article 177(1)(a) of the Constitution, and 181, clear, cast in stone. We all know why that happened, because initially dates could be set by whoever they wanted to, and you could have a date on the 29th of December for an election where voters were available or not available. That was the history of that in a very narrow way. We now have a situation where elections were cancelled. Today we have a chairperson and an IEBC who are so disconnected. What happens if in 5 years from now somebody decides to cancel a presidential election on the basis of a national emergency. This is something that really struck us when we were looking at this. It was something that had never crossed our mind. It's a hypothetical, yes, but maybe some direction needs to be given on that. Secondly, the suppression of voter turnout and voters being disenfranchised. We've been told this entire election is mathematical. Take a calculator and you'll get a result. That's what I've been told. How, if it's as simple as taking a calculator, the national tally that was stated by the chairperson was 65.4% or thereabouts. In Mombasa, where there was no gubernatorial election, and that you can work out from simple mathematics as to the number of people who showed up vis-a-vis the number of people, the voter turnout was 44%. In Kakamega, with a national tally of 65.4%, the total number of voter turnout was 57%. Simple mathematics, even saying that the figures we have are correct. And that is where we've come from, because there was a submission that we've not shown anything. Those two counties were way below the national tally. Whose strongholds they were is not my problem. All we are saying is that there was suppression and therefore voters were disenfranchised. You're cancelling an election at 8 o'clock at night on the 8th for voters the following day. You can imagine the confusion. And what was the reason for the confusion? A mix-up in ballots. This is all in our petition. I am just speaking to your lordships because if you read the petition, all the annexures are there. Oh, sorry, oops, we made a mistake in the ballot papers. There was a mix-up. Yet, there was supposed to be gazettement. A replying affidavit by the CEO, and it was supposed to be done by the 1st of July. A replying affidavit put in this petition by the CEO. Oh, we gave it to the national printers, the government printers, but they didn't print it, and so it should be deemed as done. There are news articles saying 128 ballots came to this country with ballot papers on the 7th of July, 6 days after this gazettement, or 7 days. And it is quite clear that there was an issue with the gazettement. It was backdated. But 128 ballots were already there. And the chairman admitted it, that there was a problem with the machine at the government printers for the printing. Even if you assume that it was printed on time, it was sent on the 1st of July. The earliest it could have been done was on the 2nd of July, because they haven't given us a time. We are voters. We are just watching this. We are watching this drama unfold. That being the case, and on the 7th, 128 ballots came. That's a lot.